Ladies and gentlemen, this story features a lot of things that I've talked about for a very long time. As you guys know, we advocate for children first. We also advocate for nuclear families, which means biological mother, biological father, raising children under the same roof. The nuclear family, right? And I think that once we start to move away from that and we start having children outside of wedlock, right? We start just having children with boyfriends or people we just met outside of the club, or for whatever reason, we decide to hold on to these babies. Shout out to my ladies, but you guys are actually the birth givers. The men are the seed givers. I have no idea why men understand how this system works. Is working against us at this point. While we would continue to recklessly give away our seeds, we could literally stop a lot of this unnecessary crap from happening. But then again, there's two sides to every coin with this mother accepting that seed. And I believe that there are too many people out there who are only having children for the benefits that they can get off of these children, which we call at the AFC hashtag babies for benefits. Having children only for the reason of collecting benefits from those kids, including the two individuals that you see on my screen. These two young men who were foster parents of this little kid in this story have actually done something that is absolutely disgusting. So I want to forewarn you guys, the details that I'm going to give you are not going to sit well with your sensibilities, nor is my commentary. So if you're going to get your pennies in a bunch, don't email me. Don't leave me comments in the comment section whining and complaining. Don't go flagging my channel. Just exit the video. It's a very simple thing to do, to just not click my videos. I don't know why that's not an option. I thought it was an option. Your eyes, your choice, like my body, my choice. Yes, you don't have to watch. But I got a lot to say because there are a lot of children each and every day, each and every week. Do y'all know how full my email gets with all of these stories? It is overwhelming. I believe that somebody has to step up and speak up for these children. They have to take a stance. What you are looking at is this young man. Actually, let me see if I can get both of them back up on the screen. Those two individuals. Uh-oh. Can I go back? Let me see if I can go back. Might have messed up. Hold on. Right here. These two young men that y'all see on my screen are the foster parents of this little kid that you see right here. Beautiful little kid. And this kid is 1 year old. Let me get the name right. Royalty Sonnier. Sonnier. I think that's Sonnier or Sonnier. I think it's something like that. But nonetheless, that baby ended up going into, I think it was actually two children if I'm not mistaken. But at least this one child ended up in these two young men's custody because this baby ended up in foster care because the state of Louisiana came in and took that woman's children from her because she was not being a good parent. Right? We could always blame the foster parents. We could always blame the system. But if the biological mother and biological father do not fail these children, then we wouldn't even get to this point. The system is not designed to handle the things that we're throwing at it. It's a fail-safe, but it can fail, and it does fail, and it will continue to fail until we start fixing the foundation at home. Hopefully everybody understands that. I think my message is very simple and it's very transparent. I'm not here because of their race. I'm not here because of their face. I'm here because of the children, because we believe that babies' lives matter and babies' lives should matter first. Foster parents of a toddler who was killed while under their care are behind bars with their bonds being set at $500,000 apiece. And now the little girl's biological mother says that the state has blood on its hands. Wow. Do y'all want to hear what the biological mother had to say? She actually did an interview. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting how the biological mom was such a crappy mom that she lost custody in the first place. And then she gonna turn around and get mad at the system, talking about the system failed and these two young men failed this little beautiful little baby. Really? Is that the way it works? Huh. Jakayla Sonnier, who is the mother, says she will have a lifetime of regret for not asking for help with her children before it got to this point. That's a little bit of me paraphrasing. In June, she said someone called the State Department of Children and Family Services on her after her kids kept going outside while she was at work. This is the biological mother. You know what? You just can't be this level of dumb. But I guess in some instances you can be. I want to take this picture because I want to pause it right here just for a moment. Jakayla, the biological mother, said that somebody told on me, somebody snitched on me. I left these children at home by themselves with nobody there to babysit them while I was at work for an undetermined amount of time. And somebody called the police and said that the kids are running outside because their mom are not at home. Their mom is not at home. And she had nerve to get mad at the system. This woman who has these thumbtacks in her face, I don't know what the hell that is in her face. Why she's got a tattoo tear, a tattoo cross on her face. I don't know if that means that she's in a gang, if she shot somebody, or if that's like some type of spiritual demonic thing that she's doing. I don't know. But she looks slow in the eyeballs. Yes. This woman looks slower than global warming. She really does. But wait until y'all hear her interview. You're not gonna feel bad for her at all. Now, let's roll the rest of these pictures. The mother said that she works a late evening and overnight shift and left her 10-year-old in charge of watching her little kids. You know, guys, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. I wouldn't even leave my 14-year-old daughter at home alone, and she's probably old enough to be left at home alone. I'm thinking maybe 15, 16, a 10-year-old? A 10-year-old is supposed to have the mental capacity, the training to be able to watch babies? Really? In what world? In what world? Huh? Have you guys not ever watched my channel before where you guys have seen where the mothers have left their children with their 19, 20, 21, 22, 25-year-old boyfriends? And even they don't know how to deal with babies. They end up killing the kids. So if grown men don't know how to take care of children, what makes you think a 10-year-old child will be able to deal with babies? There's that lack of logic, but let's keep going. She said, if I don't work and don't pay bills, I'd be homeless. If I don't work, I don't eat. Ain't that the way it go? Huh? Then, ma'am, why would you, like if you had, okay, let's just look at it like this. The kid that you see on my screen is a very young kid under the age of 2 years old. You have at least a 10-year-old. I don't know the ages of the other kids. So that means you had years and years and years of understanding how penis works, how placing a penis inside of a vagina will create children, will get you pregnant, will get you responsibility, will get you a man that's going to run the fuck off and not be in the household to raise that kid, not pay child support, not pay for daycare. You've already been there and done that. So why would you continue to have kids if you couldn't even take care of the one that's at least 10 years old? You're supposed to get, oh, you know how they say, well, I was young, I didn't know no better. Well, shouldn't you know better by now after a 10-year gap and you turn around and make another kid? Really? But you know what? People are going to be more mad at what I had to say about this story than what she did to leaving kids at home. Did y'all not just hear about that story where the mother left her 5 kids at home and then the house burned down because the mom wanted to go see her boyfriend? Y'all remember that story? Y'all know how many people emailed me and said that Jay, you was wrong for talking about that mama. You don't know what she was going through. People were more mad about my commentary than the mother leaving her children at home alone. We are misplacing our anger and misplacing blame. All of this is the mother's fault. Look at that. She has money for tattoos. Tell me those tattoos are free, because I'm sure they weren't. Those dermal piercings, I know what the fuck they was. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I know those things in her face are dermal piercings. I know they weren't thumbtacks, but she still looks stupid. Stupid is and stupid thugs with the face tattoo, tattoos all across the arm. All of that shit costs money. Gold teeth, all of that stuff costs money. Right? Getting your hair done all the time costs money. So if you understand the way that money works and the stuff that you want for your own personal gains, then why would you not understand that every time you make another kid, that is going to multiply the responsibility that your ass is going to have to take care of them kids by yourself. But I'm wrong, though. Let's keep going. Following a visit in June, the mother said that the state made routine unannounced visits. Good job for the state. They did good there. Made unannounced visits and removed the kids in July when she kept going to work. 3 of her older kids were placed in the custody of their father. What? Let's go back. I want y'all to look at this woman. Look how frail she is. God dog, how many kids did she have? You have at least the one child that is deceased now. And it said 3 of her older kids. So that makes what, 4? 3 of the older kids were placed with their father. And then another kid. So that's at least 4 kids. They were placed with the father and her, oh my God. And her 3 younger children were placed in state custody. 6 kids. Not 1, not 2, not 3, which are the older. And the younger are 3, not 4, not 5, 6 kids. 6 kids. But we're going to make this a failure of the system. She is a product of her environment. It's the place where she lives at. This is President Biden's fault. This is President Trump's fault. This is President Barack Obama's fault. This is police brutality's fault. This is white supremacy's fault. Right? Everybody's fault except for hers. The responsibility is not hers. Why do people continue to think that this infallible mentality is going to be something productive when you continue to keep putting these black queens on a big ass pedestal that they have not earned to be on, calling them queens and shit, giving them titles that they do not earn? It creates this victimhood mentality. She's sitting there just, they failed my kids. They shouldn't have been making unannounced visits. They should have told me exactly what day and what time that they was coming, so that way I would have knew to be home, so that way I could take advantage of the system. So that way they wouldn't have taken my kids. This woman is not bright. The light bulb is not all the way on. You can look in her eyes. I want y'all to listen to her interview. Let's keep going. I still got so much to talk about. By the way, if you guys are pissed off, then good for you. Maybe this might not be the channel for you, but for everybody else, if y'all would, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. It only takes a moment. If you guys are watching this story, please click that thumbs up. All right? All right, then. Now, her 3 younger children were placed in state custody. Her twins ended up in St. Gabriel with Ruben and Teresita Morgan, which are, let me see if I can get them on the screen. Got their names up here too. Hold on. I don't have too many pictures in here. Hold on. Right here. So these 2 young men, their names are Gabriel. Gabriel is on the, excuse me. No. Oh, ended up in St. Gabriel. So Ruben and Teresita Morgan. So Ruben is the man on the right-hand side, and Teresita Morgan is the young man on the left-hand side. Is that right? Am I reading that right? Hold on. So y'all, what are y'all saying in the chat? Y'all are saying that's a woman on the right-hand side? Hold on. Did I get that wrong? I thought that was a dude. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Hold on. Let me pull this picture up. I'm going to put this on the big screen because y'all are saying that's not a man. That is a woman. Really? Is it really? Let me blow this up on the screen. So Teresita Morgan is a woman? So why does she have a mustache that's thicker than mine? Who knew? Guys, look at this. Tell me that don't look just like your local neighborhood thug. Does it not? That does not look like a woman at all. Are you kidding me? She damn near got a full beard. That mustache is lit. Look. Her mustache is thicker than mine. Are you kidding me? Wow. Somebody said non-binary. Lord have mercy. Let me get this off my screen. Let me get this off my screen. What is wrong with y'all? Stop it. Okay. Wow. Lord help me. Okay, so Ruben and Teresita Morgan is, I guess, a husband and wife team, I guess? Sheesh. Although the mother's children were not in her care, she was able to contact them. The mother says she video called her children every day. The St. Gabriel Police Department said that the Morgans, which is a man and a woman, allegedly Lord have mercy. The Morgans began to foster the 2 toddler-age twin girls at the end of July. So there were 2 babies. The Morgans were the only ones caring for the child in the 2 weeks before the incident. Deputies said that the foster parents brought one of the children, Royalty Sonnier, which is that baby right there. Beautiful little baby. Why do I keep losing my page? I'm sorry about this. Yeah. Let me see. Brought Royalty Sonnier to Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital in Baton Rouge with head trauma on September the 12th. The child was pronounced brain dead and taken off life support 1 week later. I'm sorry, I keep losing my page. The mother, Jacqueline Sonnier, was notified when Royalty was admitted into the hospital and said that she traveled from Lake Charles to Baton Rouge every day to see her daughter. But I guess money wasn't a problem to go see your daughter, right? Yeah. According to arrest documents, the foster couple gave multiple inconsistent stories. So that man and that man-looking woman gave inconsistent stories when explaining what happened to the toddler. The foster mother later said that the child failed. Y'all got to hear this. What's up, Leave It to Bieber? You got to hear this. I want you to catch this. The foster mother said that the child fell at least 4 times the day that she was brought into the hospital. She said that baby fell 4 times on her own. How many of y'all believe that? But wait, it gets a little bit worse. The parents described one incident where the 1-year-old had fallen out of a nearly 2.5-foot stool inside an AT&T store. What? Deputies reviewed surveillance video from the store. Good job. I'm glad they went and looked, because all of those cell phone stores have cameras. I'm glad they looked. Deputies reviewed the surveillance video from the store, but said that the child landed on her bottom and did not appear to be crying or bothered. Reuben Morgan was then seen placing her back on the stool after the fall. I'm glad that the police were smart enough to go check that footage, but they wasted the police's time. Anyway, later that same day, the parents said that Royalty hit her head as she was placed in, where else? A bathtub. Yes, we're talking about bathtubs again, people. Yes. And that's that couple right there. I need to blow this up because I found this on Facebook. I want y'all to see the couple that we're talking about. I want y'all to take a good look at these two people. I thought that was a man. I guess she looks more like a woman right there. That's who we're talking about. Church-going people. Bible thumpers. Can we get a hashtag Bible thumpers in the chat? Yes, because that's what they are. She said she hit her head when she was placed in a bathtub. After that, she went limp and hit her head again on the back of the bathtub. Teresita Morgan, the individual on the left-hand side, because I'm not convinced that's a lady at all. Teresita Morgan told investigators she believed the child was having a seizure and admitted to repeatedly shaking, slapping, and hitting the child in an attempt to revive her. Church-going people, hashtag Bible thumpers. She thought the child was having seizures. So according to her own freaking words, she says she shook the child, slapped the child repeatedly, and hit the child repeatedly, trying to revive the child, trying to revive her. Arrest records said that the foster mother also described slamming the child onto the counter and trying to administer CPR, after which the child reportedly vomited. You just can't be that level of dumb. Boy, that is heartbreaking. They said the kid fell off a stool, inconsistent with the injuries, according to St. Gabriel Police Chief Kevin Ambo. She said the kid fell off a sofa, inconsistent with the injuries. She said the head banged up against a tub, also inconsistent with injuries. The documents go on to say that the woman continued to slap and shake the baby on the entire ride to the hospital. These are church-going people, Bible thumpers. While speaking with officers, she also claimed that baby royalty fell off a couch during a temper tantrum that same day, busting her mouth, which she had not previously mentioned to investigators or medical staff. Daycare workers who were familiar with the twins told deputies that the infants were relatively lazy and never had incidents of falling out or throwing themselves onto the floor. Even the daycare said that this is bullcrap. Both Teresita and Reuben Morgan were booked into the jail for second-degree murder. Why is it that first degree? I don't really know. But they got to get them on what they can get them on and what they can prove in court. The Department of Children and Family Services released the following statement. They say that we are heartbroken to hear of the allegations of abuse of one of our foster children. We work with hundreds of foster parents every day who do amazing jobs to keep children safe and protected. It's rare to receive allegations of abuse against foster parents. We're working closely with law enforcement in conducting an investigation into this death. As part of the process, we're reviewing all records regarding the care of the child victim. The requirements to become a foster parent include, but not limited to, training, completion of a home study, criminal background clearances, child abuse and neglect background clearances, and reference checks, and so on and so forth. The Morgans are in Iberville Parish Prison on charges of second-degree murder. Before people want to say that the system got this wrong and the system messed up, here's what I want you guys to understand. They started making unannounced trips to the biological mother's house to catch her abandoning her children. So in the case of dealing with her, they got it right. Can we say that? The system got this right. The system didn't fail. The system did exactly what it was supposed to do. The system got it right. They took all 6 of that biological mother's kids. This woman, 6 kids, gone. 3 of them ended up going, actually, was it 3 or 4? Yeah, 3 went with the biological father. The 2 twins went with these individuals that we're talking about in the story, and I don't know where the other one went. I don't know. But you saved 5 out of 6 kids. I think the system did exactly what it was supposed to do. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And before we start this story, I want you guys to make sure and hit that thumbs up. Please share this story. We got enough people here. If y'all would, try to make that thumbs up as many people who are watching right now. Please, please, please. I want y'all to think about this for those who believe that the system failed these kids. If the system didn't step in and do those unannounced visits on the mom, what if they would have burned that house down like we've talked about in a number of stories? We'd have 6 dead kids instead of just 1. It could be a lot worse.
Tonight, new details about a foster care failure. A toddler's dead. Foster parents are in jail tonight. Teresita Morgan and her husband Reuben are charged in the death of that child, royalty Sonnier. Chris Nakamoto in the investigative unit with the horrifying details just coming to light.
Michael, new documents we uncovered show police had a hard time getting a straight answer from the foster parents. Their stories about what happened to the child didn't match up, and we now know that toddler was killed in a violent way. It's a story you'll see on Just One Station.
It's hard.
Jacayla Sonnier will live for the rest of her life with regrets, regretting not asking for help in raising her children. She says she tried to keep a roof over her children's heads, working an overnight shift, and leaving her kids by themselves with her 10-year-old babysitting.
They would go outside when I leave, after I told them not to. Somebody called, and they came.
It's how this deadly story started. The they she's referring to is the State Department of Children and Family Services. In June, she says the state showed up and made unannounced home visits twice a week. In July, she says the state took her kids away from her as she continued to work and left them alone.
If I didn't work and didn't pay bills, we would be homeless. And they probably would have ended up getting taken anyways from me.
Oh! She said, if I didn't leave them at home alone, and if I didn't go work, we would be homeless, and they would have took the kids anyway. That is a scary thought, that multiple men wanted to have sex with her. That is absolutely disgusting.
In June, she says the state showed up and made unannounced home visits twice a week. In July, she says the state took her kids away from her as she continued to work and left them alone.
If I didn't work and didn't pay bills, we would be homeless. And they probably would have ended up getting taken anyways from that.
So why keep having kids? 6 kids, 10 years old. The 10-year-old was the oldest kid. Did y'all catch that? The 10-year-old is the oldest. So I'm going to assume she had two 1-year-olds, so about 24 months, so probably a 3 or 4-year-old. Then you have a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, and 10-year-old. I'm going to just assume. Because she had a couple kids back to back and probably had about a 24-month span in between having her next set of kids.
So you thought you were doing a responsible thing?
Even though I know that it's against the law to leave him.
Her twins, both a year old, placed in this home in Carville. Ruben and Teresa Morgan, those foster parents arrested, and disturbing details now emerging in this probable cause document, showing 1-year-old Royalty Sonnier died in a violent manner. Teresa Morgan telling detectives the child fell 3 times the day she was admitted to the hospital.
The kid fell off a stool, inconsistent with the child injuries. She said the child fell off a sofa at home, inconsistent with the child injuries. And she banged her head against the tub, inconsistent with the injuries.
Later, Morgan told investigators Royalty went limp after hitting her head in the tub. She admitted to continuously shaking her to try to revive her, slapping and hitting her to attempt to wake her up, and at one point even described slamming her onto the counter in the kitchen, where she then tried to perform CPR.
What would you like to say to the state? I mean, the state, in their defense, was trying to do good for your kids because you had left them unattended.
Like I told them when I talked to them, I said, y'all failed my kids, the state did. She died in state custody, and her blood is on their hands.
The WBRZ investigative unit learning Tuesday the Morgans passed all background checks and had fostered children 7 other times before Royalty was killed. At their home in Carville, 2 vehicles were in the driveway. But no one came to the door.
My baby was murdered. I watched her deteriorate in front of my eyes until they took the machines off of her.
Tonight, Sonnier says she wants justice for her baby, who she never got to say goodbye to, as she has a lifetime to regret her decision that led to her kids being taken away.
I'm sorry, man, but if you don't stop people from making bad choices, this woman probably going to continue, especially with having a 1-year-old, And with her age, I can guarantee you she just going to continue to just keep making kids and making kids and making kids. Like, why don't they hashtag TTO and prevent her from having any more kids? There is zero reason for this woman to ever have any more children on planet Earth in this life. Am I wrong for saying that? There are some people that don't need kids, and definitely some people that don't need any more kids. They shouldn't have access to just keep creating kids. God dog. You couldn't take care of one, but you made two. Couldn't take care of two, but you made three. Couldn't take care of three, so what'd you do? You made 4 and 5. And then made a 6th kid? How does that make any damn sense? Just because you can, and Just Jay, you don't know what she was going through. It sounds like she was going through a lot of penis, a lot of dick. That's what it sounded like she was going through. Sound like more than going to work, she was going to work on some dick. 6 kids, man, damn.
I watched her
And now she's a victim. Get the freak out of here.
deteriorate in front of my eyes until they took the machines off of her.
Tonight, Sonnier says she wants justice for her baby, who she never got to say goodbye to, as she has a lifetime to regret her decision that led...
Let me point something out. Tori actually said some females don't know their limits. I'm like, sometimes I see things that y'all type and I can actually use it to teach. And you make me think about something actually. They do know their limits. They just don't give a shit. Let me explain what I mean. This woman knew that she couldn't afford to take care of her first child. She was living impoverished and couldn't afford to take care of her first child. Whether it be depending on food stamps, Section 8, baby daddy, child support, or whatever it is, she couldn't afford to take care of the first. She knew it was already hard. Didn't what she do? Turn around and make a second. Then what she do? Turn around and made a third. Now you got 3 kids, and then there is a gap in the age range because the youngest babies are 1-year-old twins. She had a lot of time. She knew that she was broke way before she got to kid 4, 5, and 6. Hello? Or am I wrong? I think she clearly knew her limit was after 1 kid and she just didn't give a crap. I'm trying to mind my language. I know I'm cussing a lot. Sorry.
to her kids being taken away.
I hope they suffer just the way that royalty did. The pain that she felt, I want them to feel it, and I have no words for them either.
The coroner's report indicates Royalty died from brain swelling and had hematomas on both sides of her head and hemorrhaging in both eyes. The coroner says her death was a homicide caused by serious shaking. Michael?
Here's what I can guarantee you guys. I know this story is not mainly about the biological mother, but I want y'all to remember that these people would have, these evil, Bible-thumping, church-going people would have never had access to these particular foster children if the mother wasn't abandoning her children, and if she didn't have too many children that she couldn't take care of from the jump. She had a whole 10 to 11 years to think about this. If her oldest is 10, add 9 months to that. That's almost about 11 years. If you didn't learn a lesson in 10 to 11 years, you never will. You can't be that level of dumb. You can't be that slow. You can't have that much mental illness. There's not that much mental illness in the world. That's just flat out dumb and irresponsible, and somebody who continues to keep creating kids because they know that there's always going to be something there that they can fall back on, some type of safety net. But it only happens for one group of people. It only happens for one group, and all I can tell you is that it's not there for the men like that at all. Those people should have never had access to her kids. And I'm going to tell y'all, if you are married to a woman that has a beard, I'm sorry, I just don't think, just looking on the surface, that they were going to be suitable foster parents. Even though they went through all the checks and balances, they should have said, well, ma'am, if you cut that crap off the top of your lip there, then maybe we'll believe that you could be a good foster parent. Until then, till you cut that crap off the top of your lip, we're not going to give you these foster kids. What these people did, they're only going to get second-degree murder for, but they should actually get life in prison. I don't know what that type of sentence is going to carry, but they're going to get a lot of charges behind what they did to this baby, and probably what they did to the other baby too. This baby could not speak for herself, nor could she defend herself against the tyranny of people who should have never been allowed to be her parents. We shouldn't even have got to this point. This baby's name is Royalty Sonnier, and I'm glad I pronounced her name correctly, because she deserves to have some respect put on her name. Let me see if I can get a solo picture of her. So to this 1-year-old baby, Royalty Sonnier, young princess, R.I.P. To this mom, she should never be able to create children again. But you know what? As long as this man willing to stick their dick inside of a damn thermos or stick their dick in any hole that got some type of wetness to it, we're going to continue to keep having this problem until men step up and realize that there's some value in themselves. But the reason why most of these men don't have any value in themselves and why they continue to keep procreating with a woman who got too many kids that she can't take care of in the first damn place is because those men don't have an example in the household when they were growing up and what they should become, which is a responsible man and a responsible father. So since they didn't have that example growing up in the household, they don't value anybody else, including themselves, which is why they will sleep with any woman, because it's a primal instinct. Just that simple. Primal instinct. She's available, I'll take it. Give me some of that. Absolutely disgusting and ridiculous. All these STDs running around, all these kids running around with no damn father. It's a perpetual cycle, and y'all get mad at me if you want to. Do something about it. Do something about it. See something, say something. The people who called on her did the right damn thing, but they should have been calling on her and telling the men out there, like, hey, this woman got too many dicks over here as it is. Should have been preventing her from having all those men coming up in that house and on her. Nonetheless, beautiful little baby. And I hope her soul rests in peace. R.I.P. Princess. R.I.P. Thank y'all for listening with an open mind and an open heart. Thank you.